Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Live SEO Support, your favorite Q&A live stream where you can ask us anything and we will answer. And we will answer literally anything, even if we don't know about it. As someone I just got done commenting on a comment from one of our previous videos asking, well, why do you guys give an answer? You know what video it was, Nick? The guy was complaining on this video about it's our favorite question. It was like someone had asked about I can't even remember what the name of the other thing was.
Contentful paint.
No. It was
Oh,
about
that was our original
no, it was about like
BS.
WordPress versus something else. And like it doesn't even
Okay.
matter what the other thing was. He was like, why do you
Yeah.
even answer these questions instead of wasting my time? And like, bro, it doesn't even matter what the other thing we're comparing it
Yeah.
to. Like the
We're just
answer is the
telling you to
same.
use
And we
WordPress.
said that
Yeah.
in the video too. So just
Yeah.
go somewhere else if you don't like our answers about stuff we don't know about. We're doing our best over here. We answer
He
questions
probably he
live.
probably works for the company. He probably works for
Yeah.
that other company.
Seriously though, that one, like, it's just so funny to me how many people care so much about like the CMS stuff. I think it was Webflow is the one we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And they get so agitated and so hardcore about defending the one they really like. And it's just like what are you even doing with your time, man? Just like go, I don't know, just go do something productive,
Go
please.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go work.
Go work.
Yeah,
Instead of trying to find the right video to show your client why you're staying on Webflow instead of WordPress. Or maybe their client found us and is like, hey, watch this video. This is why I was thinking we should switch to WordPress. And he's like, oh,
I hope that's what it
uh,
was.
yeah, it could be something like that.
But yeah, I just maybe I don't know. I just felt like I was never at that point, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I was at that point at some point. But hey, to everyone who's not at that point and you're here and you want to learn about things that can actually help increase your rankings and making some money, let's go.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, if you guys got any questions at all, go ahead and drop them in the chat. We got some audits we need to get to, got some questions lined up that we need to get to. But yeah, we'll go ahead and just start answering that
Let's
stuff.
rock and roll.
Um,
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy this show. Invite your friends over, get them to ask us some questions. Let's get going.
let's
What do we got on sale this month, Chris?
PBN links. We
Oh, on the brand new PBN too. We got
yes.
PBN guest posts, PBN niche edits, PBN homepage links, you name it, we got it. This is a brand spanking new PBN product that we've rolled out, and there is nothing like it anywhere else on the internet. Go ahead and check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Priced
Yeah.
by DR. We got natural links and insertions into rebuilt archived content. We got guest posts you can do. We got homepage rentals. All in all, and we've got a bunch more domains, and a lot of them are even quite a bit more like niche down than before. Um, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. TBH.
Yeah, I know I sounded promotional, but I actually am very excited about that product.
Okay, let's go ahead and I sent you the site for the audit, I think.
No. Did you? Yes.
And he wrote us a really long thing, so guess we'll check
Here we
that
go.
out. Okay, let's see what he says about it.
I like this niche. This is fun.
Yeah, I it's definitely interesting. All right, let's see what he says. Content was rewritten using old AI from 2 years ago. Okay, so using old AI models to write the content, but rewritten using GPT when it first came out. Okay. Used Page Optimizer Pro for on-page optimization. All right. So far, what I'll just say so far is even if you're using Pop, even if you're, using Pop on AI content, it's not going to let you get past the helpful content update. I mean, doesn't mean that you're necessarily 100% gonna get popped by it, but good chance that you will be. Traffic started dropping a few weeks ago, but nothing has changed on the site in months except some affiliate placements, server hosting a few months ago, etc. Monetization. Original strategy was legal lead generation, but the niche isn't popular with lead networks. It's a pretty unique niche. So it's currently all, okay.
Looks like he's using Ezoic or something similar on here.
Gotcha. Yes, I'm taking off the monetization part because probably not going to go into that. It's not really what we audit here.
Well, I will say if you are using Ezoic, I recommend getting off. Last I checked, it was tanking sites, including one that I'd tested it out on.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of,
And
I've
it's
seen a good amount of
Spanish.
people talking about ads again. You know, the new helpful content update, they changed some stuff in there in Google's on the guidelines they list on the page, talking about how stuff like literally like directed at ads, and there being too many ads on a page and making it confusing and just a bad user experience or whatever.
Yeah.
So they
And I'm
can.
on here and it looks spammed with ads. I mean, it's not the worst one I've seen, but I mean, there's a lot of.
He says, open to other suggestions as well. The pop-ups are fairly aggressive because I'm just trying to squeeze some money out of this thing, LOL. Well, that can be another thing that help get you hit in helpful content now. I've also been testing AdSense on here. It's doing around 150 a month, but ruining the experience of the site. My pop-up is already pretty intrusive, and it placed another one after it, etc. Okay, so you got like mega pop-ups. Yeah, I'd probably chill on that stuff for now. Probably get it off. I'm not 100% sure, but is it possible Google doesn't like when sites have so many ads on them that it makes it a bad experience for the user. Links, I've bought some links in the past. I've also manually searched expired domains, and I forwarded them. Maybe I ran out. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry. So a bunch of the stuff is just not something we can really need to use here.
I feel like we can just do it.
Yeah, I think, yeah, we got enough.
We got enough info.
Yeah, so if you guys send us an audit, we don't really need to know that much. Just, you know, very basic, like what have you been doing to the site?
Off page.
What have you been doing to it? Like basic, have you made any big changes lately? Have you? And then what do you think the problem might be? And then we'll just kind of go from there. We don't gotta know your life story, but we are interested in your life story.
Back to you.
God damn it. All right. So yeah, here we go. Let's just take a quick look at the Ahrefs screenshot that I've just messed up. So DR 2.7 with 98 referring domains. All right, so pretty much what we're looking at there is that it's going to be some low quality links. You know, you have 100 referring domains in DR 2.7. It is what it is. 630
I'm going to
traffic.
make a guess here.
What's
Just
that?
based on what he said about how he was scrounging for profits, I'm going to
He's
guess
also
these
scrounging for
anchors
links.
are best this, best this.
All right,
Let's see.
let's go take a look at the anchors first.
Crystal ball initiated.
That's a URL anchors.
They're not. It's not as bad as I would have thought.
Yeah, it's a lot of URL anchors.
Yeah, I mean it's a spammy looking profile, but it's all right. I mean, I wouldn't go with this if I was picking out anchors, but I don't think this is going like if you started a solid backlinking
Looks like
campaign,
blog
talking higher
comments.
quality stuff with you know, normal anchors or you know, kind of generic URL to the homepage and branded to the homepage, I don't think this would slow you down really.
Weird. It was actually a reference in some other article. Yeah, it's got a ton of no-follow URL anchors everywhere. All these no-follow URL anchors. You know, it's definitely, I wouldn't, you know, normally when I think of like spammy, this is not what I would think of when I'm thinking about spammy, but it's like spammy in its own way, you know. It's unnatural just to have all of these URL anchors on no-follow links on these resource pages or whatever they are.
Not gonna lie though, I kind of wouldn't mind adding like I would maybe use this if I was doing a normal backlinking campaign if I wanted to inject a little bit of spam. These are kind of interesting.
No, you don't.
No? What'd
So
you
I'm
find?
just looking at them like they're like all exactly the same kind of like setup. Like all these websites look exactly the same.
Okay.
Um, yeah, like the even like the top menu and like the coloring, like they're all like exactly
Oh,
the same.
I wonder if this isn't
It's
a
definitely an interesting kind of spam.
kind of newer PBN.
Yeah, they got tons of links on these things too. Tons of outbound links. But anyway, yeah, so
Hmm.
just to put it shortly, your backlinks suck, which we knew just by looking, straight up, just
Yeah.
looking at the very first page on Ahrefs. So, that doesn't help you at all. A real solid backlink profile with links from actual authoritative websites can keep you afloat even if other stuff isn't looking that great. It can't 100% save you, but it can definitely help save you, right? Because Google kind of looks at a lot of stuff at the same time. I guess we can go and just, I don't think we even really need to look at the backlinks, but go from just what we looked at, let's go and I want to apply the small filter and just see domain traffic 250, DR10 out of 102. So now he's got 14. How many of those are do follow? 10 do follow. Not web 2.0's 8. So he's basically got like 8 links, which we would consider, well, that passed the very low bar. Just looking at them real quick. Some directories. Yeah, so there's just not much really here. There's a link from PolitiFact. That's from the three. Yeah, he's okay. It's from his 301. So basically, all the links. He has like a few good links from a 301
From a
redirect that he
301.
did. Yeah. And he's got multiple 301s as well, just from what I'm looking at right here. So, all in all, your off page is just it's low. It looks low quality. It looks manipulative. Yeah. So
Yep.
definitely lacking on that part. Let's actually look at the I'm gonna go back to his graph real quick and see because he said his traffic was declining, but let's see when he actually got hit. I mean the helpful content
Right
update.
on it.
Yeah, but it looked like he was
Yep.
kind of like trending down after like the core update, I guess. He was kind of trending down, but not like super fast. And
No,
the
this
helpful
was a
content update, you got really popped.
tanked them.
Did you look at the site at all?
I'm looking at it right now. So, like as far as Eat goes, definitely needs some help there. He's got like one author that's the brand of the domain. No socials that I see, no address,
Yeah,
no
especially for
phone
a place that's
number,
talking about like legal stuff,
legal
you might
issues.
want
Yeah.
to, so this would be considered, like YMYL type stuff. And so they're going to go harder, well, supposedly go
And
harder on Eat.
dude, like I love using the sidebar and footer to interlink to stuff, but this
Yeah, it's
is
too
beyond
much,
like
too crazy.
you're what is this like 2 or 3 times the length of where the articles end
Yeah.
on your homepage alone.
Yeah.
And then you get to the footer and then it's like this mondo. I mean, that's a page within itself, that whole footer. That's crazy. So yeah, way too much going
Yeah,
on
you
here.
might want to chill with like the kind of like the sidebar and menu type stuff. Google actually added stuff for this in their helpful content guidelines too. If like your menus and your navigation and stuff's all weird and makes it a
Yeah,
weird
it's
experience for the
weird.
user, they don't like it. They
Mm.
they want people to land on websites that make sense to use, that aren't like
Yeah,
all crazy and weird.
you got a 5-head footer.
But yeah, the thing that bothers me the most, I mean, that stuff bothers me, of course, but is just the complete lack of eat on this thing.
Nothing. Yeah.
EEAT. Watch our podcast with Kyle Roof on EEAT. It's basically all the things that a normal business will do to show that they're trustworthy and a real business with real people behind them. I
Hmm.
know you said you were kind of doing with like lead gen stuff, but if you're going to be out on the internet giving people like legal advice, you are going to have to step this up and like put a face behind this and kind of approach this from a very different angle. Articles I'm looking at, the one I'm looking at is like 0 images. It's just literally just a wall of text. Looks like he does have some interlinking, which is cool. That's like one
This
positive thing I've seen.
this pop-up is insane. It's way too aggressive.
But yeah, I'm not even looking at the ads, but I was looking at the interlinking. I don't know if you used some kind of program to do this, like some kind of automation tool, but the interlinking is like real like he's using like words for the anchor
Vague.
tag.
Yeah.
Yeah, like super like just strange words, like just the word like affecting or like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. And the
Yeah, I
other
see it too.
okay.
Everywhere. It looks to me like it's probably automated through something that he's not given much thought to.
Yeah, man. So I don't think we really need to look much more.
Mm-mm.
You need to work on
Got a
creating
lot of work to
authoritative
do.
backlinks. Yeah. You need to, do some work to your articles. Actually make sure it's helpful. Just go look at Google's helpful content guidelines for right now and check into that. You might want to look into just getting the ads off your site for now until you can try to get the thing to recover, because they're quite intrusive. Take care of your menus, get some eat. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of stuff you got to do here to get this thing turned around, to be honest. Um, I'm not sure how much money you're making on this thing, or if you really want to continue down this road. I think you're talking about maybe having some hard time monetizing with it. Um, but it might be a good idea just to choose something a little bit easier until you kind of learn the ropes, because this is going to be, I think, a pretty difficult project for you, just based on kind of the experience level. And if you want to monetize with ads, just pick something that's not YMYL, you don't need to be in this like legal niche where you need to be giving like super trustworthy information and be just have really good eat, and it just seems like it'd be a lot easier for you to kind of get started somewhere else, really. What do you think about that, Nick?
Yeah, probably. Probably good advice here.
Yeah, because it just it seems like a very hard thing to start with, given
But
their
also,
kind of just current level of SEO.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks like you need to go kind of back to the basics and relearn a few things that essentially crawling through this site looks like, there's a bunch of bad habits going on. And then you've even admitted that, you're you've got your back against the wall. You're trying to get money wherever you can. Typically, that's where you're going to be making a lot of mistakes. Google wants you to do this kind of stuff. I mean, it's like, what better way than to, create some sort of instability, and then you start doing a bunch of spammy, weird stuff like this, and before you know it, this is an obvious, you know, um, kind of low quality site, which is kind of where we're at with it. Sorry if that sounds kind of mean, but I have a hard time with this as well.
All right, let's go ahead and move on from there. Someone on YouTube asked us to share the URL for the new product. It's just our PBN links. I just posted the link there for you for our PBN links service. We've completely redone how we do them. We price them by DR now. The sites are more niched down. We rebuild like old archived content. You can even get PBN niche edits into the old like supernatural content. You can also do guest posts, homepage rentals. Yeah, just a bunch of new stuff. We accept more niches now. So it's not really a new product, but we've completely redone our PBN link service, right? And a bunch more domains. So yeah, definitely check that out. And there's a discount code PB10, PB10, capital B. I guess I'll put that in the chat too. PB10 for 10% off. There you go. And that's for all month. All right. Let's see what this question is. Guys, I don't understand how a new website with no blog, very low DR, very bad on-page SEO, zero to no backlinks, and outranks everyone on a high volume keyword. I mean, it'd
I'd
be
like to see
pretty
us. I'd
hard.
like to see your
Yeah,
sample.
I would need to see it. I mean, maybe it's an EMD, an exact match domain. Maybe they got a hidden PBN. Um, very low DR. It also could just be a product of kind of this recent update, helpful content update that Google did. There's a bunch of stuff that's kind of seems a little bit misplaced or doesn't belong. So that might get kind of cleaned up later. But yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to let you know what's going on without really seeing it. But you can feel free to share it with us if you'd like. What's we got? Like always, guys, if you got any questions at all, go ahead and drop them in the chat. What's up, Derek? How you doing, man? All right, let's see what we got next. I think it's a, it's another super long question.
Here we go.
It's a long question.
It's like a page long. Nice.
All right. Scroll up here. I would like to understand URL structure to improve my topical authority. So, okay. So, basically URL structure doesn't really help improve your topical authority. It can help like enhance your SEO, kind of like your on-page SEO and the way Google understands your site, but it's not really a little bit different. Not that it really matters, but I have a gaming website that's doing well, but I want to outshine the competition, probably more in-depth info. Currently, I'm focused on mobile and PC gaming. Generally, I write 4 to 5 content types when I look into a game. Okay. So he writes a review, play guide, coupon, code, freebie page, interlinked, a tier list, interlinked, a company page covers the company and other games they release are.
All right, so
interlinking.
Formula for how you're reviewing stuff.
So basically, yeah, for every game he plays, he writes like 5 different articles. Okay, so 5 different things. The question is, what URL structure shoots this? Site.com/mobilegame, game name /review, site.com, mobile game name, free to play, guide page, site.com, mobile game name. Okay, so basically he's just saying this is one example right here, sorry. And I like that one actually. I think that's going to be my answer. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks fine to me.
Yeah, so it's just like your site, then mobile game is your category, and then the game name, and then after the game name you can have the 5 different endings on it basically.
I will say that typically, I get rid of categories sections in the permalinks and just make them all one off from the main URL.
That's what I like doing, but some people don't.
This works as well. Also, you can always go in and look at what competition's doing, what's ranking in the SERPs and kind of gauge from there.
So here's the other option, site.com, mobile games, reviews, codes, tier list. I like the other one better. I like keeping it per game, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, so when I guess I'll just talk about
they both work,
my preference. Yeah, either of these would work. Just my preference is always to keep it shorter. And
well, let's see his current structure. Okay. Site.com, mobile games, that's same. See, I even like that.
Yeah.
I like just having one off from just being right behind the .com,
Yeah.
And because then you can really get the keyword all in one thing, right? Rather than it being split up. Yeah. I know it can work without it. It's just kind of my personal preference. But honestly, I don't think this stuff is really too important. Like Nick said, I think it's better to be if it's starting to get too long and you have too many subcategories or whatever, it's getting kind of crazy and long, right? Which is why I think both of us like to prefer just to have it just one off from the root basically. But really they all kind of work. I don't think it really matters that much, to be completely honest with you. There's many ways you can organize this thing, and as long as that organization makes sense to a logical mind and thus Google's bot, you should be good.
I agree.
Let's see if there's anything else in it, or is it necessary to drill down? I think we answered that. Maybe I can take advantage of tags and tag it by the game name and keep the current structures.
Tags
I don't use tags at all. Yeah. I don't use tags. I would advise you just don't use them either. Game name. Yeah, so I think we answered that already. My personal preference would probably just be to use what you call a virtual silo, which is basically there's no silo structure in the URL structure, and just have everything off from the .com, and then all of your actual structure is taken care of by just interlinking from the actual pages and stuff. That's what I like to do. But yeah, there's other people that do other things. If I were you and you wanted to use kind of like one of the ones you would talk about, I like the first one the best, I think. But you could also just go and look at some of your competitors and just see what they're doing. Find someone that's doing kind of the same thing that's ranking well, and you could just do that. But honestly, I think they're all fine choices. All of them make sense to me in my mind, and that, so I would say I think Google would understand them all as well. So wouldn't sweat it. Anything else, Nick?
No, good.
Cool.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the show.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. And if you don't like it, go leave some angry comments.
Yeah.
About how we need to stop BSing and answer quicker and whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. On really low competition searches, does keyword stuffing still work? As I see someone blatantly doing it with like 1,000 sentences added to the bottom of the article and they're ranking number 1. Yeah, so the thing about doing stuff like this is it often can work until it doesn't work. And so if you're thinking about doing things like this, you need to understand the risk of doing it. So the benefit of doing is, yeah, it can work, but most likely it's going to work for a short time. Then your site's going to get popped. It's going to lose all trust with Google, and you're going to need to start a new website or try to recover that one. So, we can't say that stuff like this can't work. It's actually a very outdated tactic. But
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure you can find some examples of it working. So would I ever do this? Not in a million years. Just you don't need to do this kind of stuff.
It's not worth trying to squeeze it out. You can build stuff that's gonna stand the test of time and not have to mess with. I mean, this is like a 15-year-old outdated tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was actually like keyword stuffing. I think it was actually I think it was like before I even started SEO. I think it was kind of over by the time I had started already.
Yeah.
That's how old it is.
It's not. Yeah.
This was probably a tactic we were when we were in high school. This was probably the tactic.
I think it's before I was an SEO, because I remember trying it out when I first started, and I don't remember getting results even back then.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so definitely something we can't recommend, but there are people that like to do stuff like this, like spammier stuff, super black hat stuff, just super low. I think about it as just very low energy, just
low energy.
Because
that's the word.
Because I wanna build something that I can eventually sell, right? Sell to an actual buyer, and buyers don't want to buy this shit. It's too risky. It's low quality. Anyone can go and do it. It's not worth anything, and it's just gonna get popped anyway. And so I like to focus on just stepping the money up a tier, essentially, unless you're doing super advanced black hat stuff when they can make a lot of money in short periods of time. But I don't think they're really using stuff like this. They're using much more advanced black hat stuff than this to do the kind of stuff that they do. But yeah, we definitely can't recommend it. But it does happen. Stuff can rank. Thoughts on whether SGE will be released in the EU, or will a digital services ad block it? I'm not keeping up with that at all. Honestly, I just don't even care. Cross that bridge when we get to it. I don't like to waste my time worrying about stuff that I don't have any control over.
Yeah, thinking about what politicians are going to decide on and what big money is going to be able to oust, etc., is above our pay grade, I guess.
Yeah.
To put it simply, it's I don't know what they're going to do about it.
What I will recommend, though, and another thing is the AI hype, it seems to be kind of dying off a bit. Don't get me wrong, we still use AI quite a bit, but it's just, I don't know if the SGE stuff is what people will want, It's just, there's already such a big backlash to a lot of the AI stuff and just how crappy it is. And then they're going to make this front and center of their entire platform.
Right.
They're popping sites that are using AI, and then they're gonna make that same content front and center. No, they want to give users a better experience. I don't really know when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen, like what the actual thing is going to be, I think it's just too much to think about. It can go in a million different ways, and I don't think anyone can predict this kind of thing right now. I don't
Keep
think,
your head down, keep working.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. And, aside from that, if you do want to think about it a little bit, I would think about it from basically just diversifying your traffic a bit. And what I mean by that is getting traffic from things other than Google organic. So that means you can do like paid ads, you can do Google ads, you can do Facebook ads, any social media ads. You can build an email list, so then you can blast your email list with whatever offers you have. You can do social media marketing. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something important. You can do YouTube, you
Social
can get on
media,
like video.
ads, yeah,
Um,
personal branding.
yeah, there's just so many ways you can kind of protect
Go buy a
yourself from
billboard,
this kind of thing. And then you just don't really have to think about it at all because, oh yeah, it takes a hit, then maybe you lose a little bit of money or whatever, but you still got your money coming from all these other places as well. And yeah, I don't think SGE is gonna. My prediction is that SGE is just not gonna have that big of an impact. It would definitely take away some traffic, but at the end of the day, I'm not worried at all about it right now. I was a lot more worried about it like when the AI hype was really like kicking off, like at the beginning of the year, like January, February, March. I was starting to be like, oh my God, like what's going on? But yeah, not so much anymore.
Yeah, that's when all the we're gonna miss the AI train kind of hype was going on, and everybody's scrambling to try and figure out whatever the newest, hottest hack is. And now we're all overwhelmed with, 1,000 different apps for every kind of content creation you
Well,
want.
now everyone's
And
overwhelmed with trying to recover their AI sites
that
that just
too,
got popped by HCU.
yeah, it's like, God damn it. I was on the easy street for exactly 2 months. Boom.
It's so funny though. Like I've been having such a good. I've like really avoided trying to make like overly like negative posts, like making fun of people on social media and stuff. But it's just so funny, like watching these kind of like cycles just go over and over and over again, and
Always.
how
Yeah, it's always the
everyone
same.
falls for it every time.
Yeah.
Not that there was anything to fall for. It's just that like yeah, you thought like doing like super low energy, like low effort stuff, and you're just gonna like rank forever, and like you really thought that was like what was gonna happen.
If you want to stand the test of time in this industry, you're going to have to really kind of dig deep and work hard. And even if you want to do this kind of low energy manipulation kind of stuff, typically, you're going to do it sort of as a side project to, diversify whatever else you've got going on that's got a little bit more longevity, more life in it.
But yeah, not to say that there have been some like actual like good sites that have been hit by HCU. So I'm not making fun of those people, but just yeah, there's a lot of people that are like, well, why? I don't understand. And like you look at their website, and you're like, bro,
Well,
come on.
you realize that if everybody was ranking doing this, yeah, uh, things wouldn't work out for very long.
All right. Let's see what's going on with Derek over on Facebook. Derek says, do you have any idea why I am ranking better on Yep than Google? First site ranks first, and my other site ranks 5 positions on Yep. Yeah, I'm not gonna really be able to answer that. I don't know anything about Yep, to be honest, and I just like who uses Yep?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but the answer is because they run off different
Yeah.
algorithms. Like, Google's one of the largest corporations in the world. It's got a little bit more crawling data, and it's probably more nuanced.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
Nick said, this is a completely different search engine. They work completely differently. Yep, Yandex, Bing, Google, every one of these search engines works completely differently, and they have a completely different algorithm. They have completely different things that they look at, and even if they're looking at the same things, they weight them differently. So it's just, I don't know anything about Yep. I don't care about Yep. I don't optimize for it at all. I don't even care about Bing or optimize for it. Maybe I should a little bit.
I think this is probably the first time I'm actually on yep.com.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know who's using it. It's on beta, it looks like, and it's a revenue sharing platform, which I mean is kind of cool, but you know,
But yeah, as far as
Google's where the money comes
yeah,
from for
exactly.
us. That's
So
the spigot.
don't worry about the other stuff. Focus on Google, And then once you've ran out of things to do, which you pretty much will never run out of things to do,
I,
then you could go and optimize for like, Bing or Yep
I'm
or
not.
whatever. As long as it doesn't mess up your Google optimization though, right?
Yeah, I've gotten in trouble for saying this before, but I don't care. I don't even optimize for Bing. I could
I don't
give
either.
a shit.
I don't.
And I've had people be like, "Well, it accounts for this much search volume. How are you just gonna?" I got other things to worry about, and
Yeah,
it
so and so
involves attacking Google SERPs or diversifying where else I'm looking,
exactly.
and
Something
Bing is not a priority for me.
Yeah, like if I was gonna like, okay, so optimize for Google, and then it's like, oh, I need to let's get traffic from somewhere else. My next
Hmm.
choice is not Bing. My next choice
Hmm.
is probably YouTube.
Ads, yeah, or YouTube,
Or
yeah,
ads, yeah.
yeah,
So basically
yeah.
just like something other than that, because it's going to be so tiny compared to like what you can get doing so many other
Exactly.
things. And these things, you'll have too many things to deal with to ever have to like really worry about Bing. I think unless, or Yep, unless you're working for like some huge like corporate company or like a
Yeah.
massive team that just like, or basically they have
We
they've covered everything and you're just like really scrounging for these like extra like little trickles of traffic. Um,
yeah.
but
Mm.
most people are not there, so wouldn't worry about it. Just focus on Google for now. Um, all right, let's see here. Any problematic tools oh, I think it means programmatic tools that can help me pump out service and commercial landing pages. I actually don't know
Um,
anything about that. I can't give advice on that.
what's the one that I told you yesterday? You sent me that video, and in the video they talk about, and this one, it might not do exactly what you're looking for, but it's called Zip, which apparently is an
Zip,
AI tool that will create decent WordPress sites for you.
what is it? Zip dot
Um,
what?
that I'd have to watch the video to get in there,
So
but
let's
I'm
say
guessing it's like
Zip
Zip AI.
AI. What do they do?
It builds you a local site. They
Oh, it's
said
Zip
that it didn't.
WP. Zip
Okay,
Zip WP. Let's go and we'll just go ahead and pull that up and take a look
yeah.
since
Well, we've
questions are
never
kind of
used it.
slow.
We're not sponsored by them. Don't know if it works, but in what we were watching, they said for local sites, could work. For bigger, more authority sites, not worth the
Create a
squeeze.
stunning website in just 60 seconds. No kidding. And by the
Yeah,
way,
sounds
where we
cool.
saw this was on an
Authority
Authority
hackers.
Hacker episode. The most recent Authority Hacker video. I think it was on. It's one that's about AI being like overhyped. It's kind of like a recap of AI. Now that it's been like a year basically since the hype train really took off. So yeah, we don't know anything about this tool. Just having a quick look. First draft your website. But yeah, they were saying that it actually does really cool stuff. And this actually looks exactly what you're looking for. So
Yeah, good work.
and these actually look
Um,
really nice. And yeah,
I was
I
thinking
think the
that
Authority
too.
Hacker guys were saying that basically what this can do in like a couple seconds is like gonna make your like local site like basically better than like any other local site. Just because when you go and look at local sites, so many of them are just so like low quality or whatever, that what this just spits out is pretty incredible. So yeah, never used it before. Can't speak on it. I don't know what the pricing or anything is like. Looks like there's a wait list. Get early access, 100% free. Not really sure what's going on, but you'll have to check that out. Hopefully that helps. And hopefully ZipWP will give us some kind of affiliate code or
Yeah.
something for promoting their product we've
Either
never
that or
tried.
just, let us try it out for free for a little bit, That sounds fun.
That'd be cool. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Like always, guys, got any questions at all, go ahead and drop them in the chat. Doesn't matter if you think it's a stupid question or what, we will answer it. Trying to figure out this question right here. Uh, oh man, what's with these people giving us like one-page questions? It's too much.
Yeah. Yeah, because then there's always just too many details, etc. It's funny because typically I think historically we've always been like, If you're going to ask a question, send us some detailed information we can go off of, and now
Not
it's like
that
you guys are
detailed.
over detailing
Yeah,
what we need to
we'll
answer
we'll
questions.
we'll add a new line that's like, please send us 2 to 3 sentences.
Yeah, there.
But
That's about
I
all
just
we
sent you the
need.
site, and I'll get it pulled up on the screen here for everyone else to see. Then we'll see what he says. All right. Let's look at his question again real quick. So he says, I think, I guess I'll just put it on the screen. So he says, I think the site was hit with cannibalization before Google Search Console did show competing pages. I tried to silo content before, but it ended up cannibalizing the site. Example. So he's doing like, it's a Beats website. Type Beats. Okay, so basically it's just doing some kind of siloing. You get the deal. I have cleaned up the competing pages and posts and changed the blog post URLs over the last few months, and the pages don't seem to be competing anymore. Okay, well that's good. I attached Google Search Console images as email to show that the site still has indexed content, Google impressions, but it's super low in the SERPs positions. I'm kind of looking for advice before I make the next move. All right. So as far as cannibalization goes, you either have cannibalization or you don't. If you've already cleaned it up in Google Search Console, it's not showing that you have competing pages for these things anymore, then it's over. The cannibalization's over. So that's good. It sounds like you actually cleaned it up, right? The bad news is it looks like your site's not doing too well. Looks like you got like currently, I did a long graph so we can see its full history.
Yeah.
But say like 66 traffic. It's an old site. I've had it on the 5-year timeline, so so it's a long history right there. It's never really gone too high. I wonder if you bought this at a auction or whatever.
That's what I was wondering. Is this a expired?
Could be. Yeah, DR51, traffic 66, definitely not. DR51's a pretty decent amount of authority you got there, but you can go ahead and take a little.
Yeah, but keywords and traffic being that low, there's obviously something off.
So many pages he's got indexed. He's got like 700 pages indexed. I will say that I don't like his titles. His titles in the SERPs are all like he tried to make them very like cool looking or something. Anyway, just I'll go ahead and we'll look at the off page real quick to see what's going on here. Start with anchors. Yeah, so you got some weird anchors. Oh my God. This looks like mega spam. Yeah, Jesus, what is that? It's got a press release, but it's like thousands of links. So, I mean, you've got URLs that have been repeated like literally thousands of times. Okay, well, at least 2 of them look like they're from the same kind of like spam little blast you did. And then your most used anchor is just click here. Looks like it's coming from blog comments. You got blog comments on flooring, an article about flooring, like home kind of blog. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the backlinks themselves. See how many pass the very low bar. DR10, domain traffic, 250. So you went from 1,600 links to 100 links that passed that very low bar. Let's get the Web 2.0s out of there. And let's say do follow links. So now you're down to 39 links. So out of 1,600 links, you're down to 39 links, which we would consider kind of quality, but really could boost this like DR much higher than 10 and domain traffic much higher than 250. See what's going on in here. Looks like some kind of guest post type stuff. It does look relevant for the most part. Got some foreign stuff in here. Oh, but this does look relevant. So yeah, so basically out of 1,600 links, you've got about 40 that are what we'd consider kind of okay, but it's actually going to be quite a bit less than that, so maybe 20. But okay, so you got like 20 good links out of 1,600. And yeah, anchors are just you're completely spammed to shit from whatever you've done. You've got like emojis in here. You've got just
Dude,
super.
I was gonna comment on that. He's even in his menu items, he's got emojis in
Yeah,
there. It's driving me
he
crazy.
has it on his titles too, title tags. So when you look up like his website, like it's all this like super just like it looks cool or whatever, but like you gotta. It just kind of looks like someone optimized the website using like something that would look cool like on MySpace or something. I don't really know how to describe it other than that. So I would get all this crap out of there.
This is a very MySpace era looking site overall, if I'm gonna be honest.
I like the site itself. Well, at least what I'm looking at. Well, okay, now that I scroll down a little bit more.
You see, like
yeah.
very long, lots of bold headings and quotations, lots of selling,
like
lots of money gifts.
The images all look like real stock or AI generated. Walls of text, not seeing any interlinking. Like big walls of text. You're talking like it's like a big paragraph. A paragraph that's like 20 lines long. So it's like an actual wall of text.
I think this would be like a 50-page book of just spammy looking buy me now, please. And I'm just now realizing, so I went to an inner page for the course. He's got it up in his menu, and then the menu disappears. So you're just like on this landing page looking thing.
I really don't like the menu it's got going on. It's like three lines of menu. Oops. I'm just trying to see like what he's got on this page. Download now. So yeah, I'm actually not very familiar with this niche, so I'm not really sure like what other sites are like in the niche. So it's kind of hard to give too much of a, because I just don't know, like I don't know what to expect from the like how long is the content going to be on this kind of stuff, It seems like the content would actually probably be pretty short in most cases.
Yeah, with some downloadable stuff, but I mean each one of these pages is forever long.
The one I'm on is a bit shorter. Most of the page is actually just like the end of the article where it's just like blog post about other resources. His footer is huge footer. Look at this thing.
Huge footer, yeah.
Look at all those social profiles.
Though, the footer changes, and the header menu disappears, and so all of those just go to essentially what look like landing pages that are not connected to anywhere else on the site, which is a weird thing to be doing, I would say. Also looks, I mean, yeah, a lot of this stuff just looks like kind of outdated tactic.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of like overwhelming what I'm looking at. It's
hmm
just so like different from what I normally like look at.
Hypothetically, like even if I'm here and I'm looking to download some of this stuff, like let's say I go to a
It's
random
so hard to
page.
even
Let's
find
see.
where it
Yeah,
is.
where am I
Where's
gonna
the
get it?
download button?
Here's one at the top, but it's not exactly enticing, so I keep going down, and now I'm just confused. Oh, here. So now I've finally arrived at the instructions.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of this makes me really want to do any of that. Even if I was looking for this, like it's like
Yeah, it's so confusing. Like
yeah.
it's so confusing. Even like us, and we look at websites all the time, just trying to audit it. It's like, what's this section? Like, what's going on
hmm
here? Like, what is this thing? But then it's like got about the author, and then below that, it's got like FAQ. I don't know. It's like everything's like
Download
out
a
of order.
PDF license, but what is that
Yeah, like
about
why is
now?
that
Like
there?
now I'm confused.
So what I would do, first of all, is the first thing I would do is I would look at learning like basic like on-page SEO, like, and stop trying to like look cool with like emojis and like make sure that like your H1s and your URLs and your title tags, make sure they're things that explain very clearly to the person and to Google like what this page is, rather than trying to like look cool, if that makes sense. And then after that, I would look at what I would want you to do is go look at some of the top rankers in your niche. Look at the structure that they use for their pages. Like really, like go look at one of their pages and break it down. Be like, okay, here's the first thing they have on their page. They have their H1. Next thing, that maybe they have a download button. Maybe next thing they have a section that describes this. Maybe next they have this, and literally just copy what they have, because I'm just so confused and overwhelmed by the kind of like your page structure here. Not your URL structure, but just like looking at like any page on your website is just overwhelming with stuff everywhere. Um, and I feel like, it doesn't look like you were hit by the helpful content update, but you didn't really have any traffic anyway. But, if I was Google and I was popping sites for helpful content, I would pop this site hard. Because
Yeah.
I'm so confused. I would bounce off of this site so fast and just go find the next one that I could just
Yes.
understand what's going on, right?
Yeah, because if you think about the concept, okay, hypothetically, I'm a guy that's looking for this type of service. I want to get there. I want to start browsing as quick as I can, and I know what I want to do. I want to download these things. What you've created here is a labyrinth of, well, how the hell do I get this out of this site? There's got to be other competitors out there that are making this real easy for the type of person that's looking for this, I feel like.
Yeah. And to make it even
Um,
more confusing, at the very top of each page, you have an image that says download now, but it's just the featured image on the page. And when you click it, it just reloads the page.
Yeah, yeah, there's all sorts of stuff like that.
But, sorry if this is sounding like harsh, but it's just, it's kind of like overwhelming. And, this stuff's important. So yeah, first thing I would look at redoing your basic on page, and then I would completely redo like your page, like how you've structured the layout of these pages. I'm not even really getting into the content because I'm not really sure how much content to expect on these pages, but you can look at your competitors for that information as well, right? Um, but yeah, I think Google probably just kind of doesn't know what to do with this site and these pages. I think it just doesn't even really know. Yeah, I feel like it's probably sending like tons of like mixed signals, and just it doesn't really know what to do with it, and wouldn't want to rank it even if it did know what to do with it.
Agreed.
And then yeah, off page as well. Gonna definitely take some work there. All right, so that was another negative audit. I feel
Sorry
like
about
today's been
that, guys.
a lot of
But we
negativity
give out the
today.
truth here, okay? We're not the type of guys you come to and get the pat on the back and it's gonna be all right, sweetie. No, we're the kind of guys that kick you in the ass until you get back to work, buddy.
And tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Not what you want to hear, but what you
What
need to
you
hear.
need.
All right.
Couple more
But
questions.
the positive thing is that you're not alone. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
we've done I think 2 or 3 audits today, and every one of them has been like pretty negative. So what you can see is that most people who get into this game end up doing things very wrong, especially in the beginning when you first try. Like you should have seen like the first websites I made; they were trash. Um, but yeah, you just get used to what you're looking at. You kind of get used to kind of a more like formulaic approach. You just it all starts to be like less overwhelming the more time you spend your eyes on it. So even though we've been super negative and you're basically gonna have to redo almost everything, the good news is that it's all part of the learning experience. This is normal. Everyone goes through that. That it just comes to the point with it being like, okay, well, do I actually want to stick with it and learn and progress, or am I going to quit? And that's ultimately up to you. But I would stick with it. I love that. I like this industry. I like this kind of career. So obviously, I've chosen to
And
stick with it.
it's lucrative. I mean,
Hmm.
if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. The fact of the matter is, you've got to work real hard to get good at this and to find recipes to success. And the other fact of the matter is, I think it's a very low percentage of people that just get it right on the first time. And even if they do get it right on the first time, they're going to offshoot into things that get experimental, and there's a chance of failure there. If you want to be a good SEO, I think you've got to get used to being able to quote fail but picking yourself back up, and then sometimes starting from the ground right back up, which if you've been working on a project 6+ months, or in this case years, that can be a really tough pill to swallow. But if you can do that, it says more about your character, and it's going to get you further, not even just with SEO, but with whatever you want to do. You've got to picture this like, I don't know. I'm not a very mechanically inclined person, but I've been on the weekends tinkering with like car related stuff. If you mess stuff up there, sometimes you got to start ground back up too. I think in any industry, there's like a bit of a learning curve to get good. But SEO is definitely the most frustrating thing I think I ever had to work at to find recipes
So
for success.
what you should do, my biggest advice for you is just straight up go copy somebody. I'm not saying copy their
Yeah.
content.
No, yeah,
I'm
what
saying
they're doing.
don't try to reinvent the wheel. Like, so I did the same thing in the beginning. It's like when I would make a website, it was like I was just like being like, well, I'm gonna make a website, and so I would just like kind of make it how from like my brain essentially, like how I thought the website should be. Um, but the mistake there is that people using the internet, people have gotten used to things being a certain way, right? And so if things aren't kind of done in a certain way, then it becomes very confusing for the user. So the best thing to do in the beginning is just go kind of like copy like the formulas that other people are using, like their exact like find a website that you really like and just copy like the exact way they lay out their pages. Don't copy their content. I'm not saying do anything like illegal or bad or anything, but just the way they've done everything, the way their menu looks, the way their sidebars look, what is in this position, what's there, how does their page layout work, like what comes first, what's next, and copy that. And once you've kind of progressed for a while and you've got more time looking at this stuff, then you can kind of like make little tweaks and stuff once you become like more advanced or whatever. But in the beginning, I feel like just copying people that have been successful is by far the best thing to do. And the same thing goes with like on-page SEO and optimization or anything like that. Always just go look at your competitors. How are they doing it? Google gives you the answer for the kind of stuff that they like. So you can literally just go look at your top ranking competitors and do stuff how they're doing it. And chances are you're going to do pretty well if you just kind of emulate what they've done. Fake it till you make it. All right, let's see what we got here. Hatsi Burr says, can you rate content for me now, please? You need to send us an email at info@sirlinksalot.co, and we'll put you on the we'll put you in line, basically. There's a little bit of a wait list.
Yeah, so much of a wait list that at some point in time we may open this up to, a paid audit kind of thing, and
Not yet,
it
though.
might be luck of the draw who gets in here. Yeah, no, not yet,
And
but
Daniel says, thanks, guys. Much appreciated. You're welcome, man. Hopefully, we've got some kind of actionable things you can do from our advice.
mm,
All right, let's see what we got over here. I was just wondering how to do coupon websites, get a lot of backlinks, especially that content is not unique. And then, yeah, so they're probably building their own links, you know. They're probably paying for links. Um, yeah, I mean, you could come to an agency like us. We could help you build links like that. Otherwise, you can do outreach yourself. And you know, a lot of these coupon sites probably also kind of I actually don't know much about the coupon niche, but I'm guessing a lot of the coupon niche kind of operates like kind of black hat. Because yeah, essentially people aren't going to want to link to these kind of like spammy programmatic coupon sites, really. um, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I guess they'd be like maybe sharing on social media or something like that would be more common, but yeah,
but
different
even then,
game.
like who does that? I feel like the only people that would do that like
Yeah.
kind of might have like a screw loose or something, and they're like, oh, look at these coupons I found, and
Check it
they're just like
out.
spamming stuff on their social media page. You know what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
But you know, the thing, what I would do is I would just get into Ahrefs since I'm not a complete expert and can't give you a super good answer on this. I would get into Ahrefs and just go reverse engineer what your competitors are doing. Just go look at the types of links that they're getting and just figure it out. Like, how did they get that type of link? Just like, what type of link is it? How did they get it? You know, reach out to the websites if you need to, or if it looks like kind of like black hat, more like spam stuff, then you kind of know what your answer is, right? But yeah, I would just be reverse engineering and then I would go from there. Um, let's see. Zinab says, "What are the most important schemas for e-commerce websites?" Zinab, I'm not going to be able to give you advice on that. We're not schema pros. Um, yeah, we're just not going to be able to give you a good answer on that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We do like very like basic schema. But you know, if it was me, I would literally just like go Google it, and I'm sure there's actually some pretty good answers up on Google for just like basic like ecom schema. Um, Schema, I don't think is like the most important thing in the world, to be completely honest. And I think if you just get like the basic, most important stuff, which everyone's going to be telling you the same thing, you do that, you're going to be good. You don't need to worry about like any like advanced, like weird stuff.
No.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Regan. Which do you think is the better option for an SEO? Grow an agency and scale client fulfillment, or just create your own sites and businesses and partner with people to fulfill orders and services and scale the amount of LLCs you have? Thanks. Um, I
Good question.
kind of didn't understand that. Okay, so grow an agency and scale
Um,
fulfillment, or
I
create
mean,
your own
so
sites and businesses and partner with people.
I'd say it has to do with,
Yeah.
you yourself and what kind of person you are, especially when you're first getting started. If you've got proof of concept, you know how to do SEO, you've maybe ranked some local sites or whatever. Are you a people person or are you not a people person? Can you deal with clientele asking you random questions, especially people that maybe have no concept of what you're even doing? And do you want to go that route, or do you want to work for yourself? There's benefits
I think he's
to
asking something
both.
a little bit different because
Mm,
it seems like with the websites he's talking about is he's talking about actually creating like businesses and then like so I don't know what kind of business it would be, but maybe like a plumber or whatever, and then you find people to fulfill the order. So it's either like lead gen
oh,
or agency, um, which is correct me if I'm wrong if you're still here, Regan. But it sounds kind of like yeah, you're talking about basically either doing like a local agency or like creating your own like actual like businesses, like a plumber or whatever, some kind of local business, and then finding people to fulfill it after like ranking that plumbing website, which is kind of like rank
so
and rent or lead gen, whatever you want to call it. Um, but yeah, people do both. I feel like I would go probably for the agency model.
same.
But it's just because I think I feel more comfortable with it. I've never done what you're talking about with like lead gen or rank and rent. I'm not really sure what you'd want to call that.
I did
Um,
rank to rent early on, and the reason was because I didn't want to talk to clients right out of the gate, and then convince them that they needed a website or they needed help with their website, etc. And in the end, what I came to find was I hate rank to rent. Because even if you've got proof of concept, a lot of these people that don't have a website that you're contacting about saying, hey, it's already ranking, it's already getting leads. There are people that haven't even like thought about this, especially when we're talking about local websites. Like you're calling a business owner who's like, I don't really have a website, or I've got a website, but I don't know nothing about this SEO and I got word of mouth, yada, yada, versus you contact the right business owner. You tell them, hey, I can get you this many leads. I can do this, this, and this for you. They're going to be somebody that's like more progressive in their way of thought, right? Like they're going to say, yeah, I know I've got to spend money to make money, and I'm willing to spend it with you because you know what you're talking about and you've got proof of concept, etc., right? I would always say that is the better type of clientele to go after than the kind that are like maybe kind of scrounging for whatever and they're willing to pay a lead here and there. But um, I've done them both, and I can say that rank to rent model is not something that I would ever mess with again, unless I'm building it and going then to a third party service that then sends the leads off to whoever and pays you back. But that's going to be a fraction of what you could make working with the right local business who knows that they've got to spend some money on a website in order to get these leads.
So I think I've got a little bit of an answer for you. I think if I were you, I would probably start with agency, and then, let's say you even like niche down, then you're kind of just doing like really focusing on plumbers or whatever, dentists or something like that. Um, and then, basically you could get very good at doing the SEO, and doing SEO specifically in that industry. And then from there, you could try to diversify a bit by maybe creating a couple of these like, websites on your own or whatever to then find, and then try to fulfill the services through them, like you were mentioning, a couple rank and rent sites. But I think I would start with the agency first and then kind of move that way after I was kind of been doing it for a while. He has a follow-up here. He says, for example, I have a site that sells sports goods and my cousin deals with all the orders. We have a 50-50 partnership. It's crossing my mind to just create new sites, partner with someone who'll do all the fulfillment and increase the amount of business partnerships I have across different niches. I also have clients, but it takes a lot of time and fill. Yeah, so that's if you're doing like actual like partnerships and stuff, yeah, it just
I'll
kind of depends what you want to
say,
do, really. But I
I
like that. I think it sounds kind of cool. Nick has bad experience with a partnership, with a brick and mortar partnership. So there's risk there as well. There's risk in like finding the right partnership. Like how well do you really know these guys? Like it's your cousin. I know Nick partnered with a very good friend. But me and Nick were also friends
yeah.
before Selling Slot as well, and this partnership worked good. So I guess you're at like 50-50.
You gotta just
Um,
make sure that the partnerships you're springing into, because it's easy to eat with your eyes, especially in SEO. It's like I can make a website for anything, and like then so and so's doing this, they can fulfill the orders, and it sounds really great. But especially, if it's not a very simple concept, once you start involving the real world where you've got overhead on products, maybe warehouse space, et cetera, et cetera. Um, Things start to get a little bit complicated. And you've got to trust that if you're working on the back end, the SEO, the website, the tech side of things, then the people working on the physical business are, kind of worth their weight. So yeah, just make sure that you're auditing these people the same you would, I don't know, getting a high-end employee or something like that, that the project could actually work.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about, and I do like the idea of like, partnerships and actually having like an actual business that you feel like you're a part of that business and you're working
Mm.
on that business and stuff. But it definitely has its own risks as well, and
What
and the risks for that are going to be a lot heavier than if you were to, for example, be an agency and you're essentially just playing with someone else's money, right?
what what I would
But
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because he added one more thing. He says, I also have clients, but it takes a lot of time and feel it's more of a job than a business. And yeah, that's one of the things about the agencies is that, SEO is actually pretty difficult to scale. And, Yeah, so if you wanted to continue with the agency, you could just kind of work on like productizing your services more, maybe hiring more, trying to separate yourself from the business more. Um, or at least like, so the daily functioning of the business so you can kind of focus on other stuff. But of course, that's going to eat into your margins more as well because you're going to be having to get some bigger hires. But yeah, it is what it is.
Another way to kind of look at it, like I talked about this in my case study a bit. You can, before entering into a partnership with somebody, you can build out, like, let's say, we'll just start with an affiliate site, right? Like, so you build out an affiliate site, you find all these products out of you've been doing it a year, you've got all this data on which products make you the most money, how much it would cost to source them, etc. Um, Start getting that data. You own 100% of all of that, right? And like you're just doing affiliate. Then you can look for somebody who could, you could strategically partner with to fulfill those orders, but you can try them out. At that point in time, you own the asset and you can kind of try somebody out. If that starts to work out, then you can go a little bit further. And ultimately, in the end, if you own that website, right, and you look to partner with somebody who's already doing it in the real world, uh, you'll probably be able to get better than 50-50, because you would have already started this lead gen. You're essentially taking money to this person that they can, then capitalize off of with minimal effort. It's like, hey, I'm sending you this. Here's what you've got to do. Can you fulfill these orders, yada, yada, and you can move from there. So that's one way to look at it too. Own as much as you can before giving the farm away.
Okay. Let's go ahead and move on because we've got a couple questions before we take off. We're already gone over time, so try to move through these very quickly, guys. And these will be our last questions because we gotta get out of here sometime.
Yep.
When starting to write articles for an affiliate blog site and doing SEO, should you immediately start writing about one category or test out multiple to see what works best and then dive further into that? So yes, I would say you should start writing about one category. So basically you're just working on like kind of one topic first. And this is good because it kind of shows Google that you know a bunch about this one thing, this one category, this one subtopic or whatever you want to call it, your topical authority. So you could just pick one and write about that. But about picking out a couple and testing, I wouldn't worry about doing that. If you are doing your keyword research right, and you're actually looking into this stuff, you're probably going to be picking a subtopic or a category that's easier. And so there's really no reason to test them. You already know that this one's going to be easier than the others. And I would just go all in. I wouldn't worry about testing anything. I would just pick one, do my keyword research right, and just go into that. Anything to add on that, Nick?
Nope.
Cool. Let's see what the next one is. The next one says, what are you guys' top resources or people to follow for learning about SEO? So I'm going to give a very short answer on this one. First of all, I'll say go check out our podcast. We've got a bunch of guests on our podcast that we really like. Definitely follow all of them. And then I'll just have a quick look on my... Actually, I'm not on. I can't switch to YouTube right now, but I think on YouTube, follow like Diggity, follow like Authority Hacker. I'm gonna do a really bad job
Goldie.
right now. Julian Goldie for doing some like AI stuff. I'm probably forgetting a ton. Kyle Roof, but he's on the podcast
Float.
as well. Charles Float's great. Another thing you could do is go follow me on Twitter. You can just find me on Twitter. Just search for my name, Chris Gigas. Find me on Twitter and see who I follow and just look at all them because I follow some good people on Twitter. And yeah, lots of great stuff on Twitter as well. So that's probably the easiest way to tell you. Just go follow me on Twitter and just steal everyone I'm following. Yeah, hopefully that helps. What else we got? Kuda says, thank you for your help, guys. I'm looking forward to working with you guys soon once my site is ready. Yeah, man, let us know. We'll be here to build some links for you. So let's say I had an affiliate site for rental cars and had several fake authors' names attributed to the content Would it be cool to set up author blogs for backlinks or seem unnatural? I mean, like completely separate author websites? I wouldn't go that far. But you know, when dealing with the easiest thing to do is actually use like real names. Even if it's just your name, right? You know, it's just so much easier than dealing with all the like trying to make like fake profiles and like do all this stuff, which you can totally do, but can't, you know, you're not supposed to.
Yeah,
I'll just say
it's
that.
definitely going to beef up the network, right? If you've got to use fake authors, right, then having social accounts or at least one social account for each one isn't a bad idea. You know, it's just going to beef up the fact that, or, you know, validate to Google that this is a real person, or it seems more real, right? So yeah, it can't hurt.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'd go as far as setting up like complete like actual websites like with the blogs on it. I was just thinking for backlinks. Yeah, I wouldn't really go too that far into it really. You know, you could set up like social profiles and stuff like that, of course, and actually get active on them would be the
Yeah.
thing you'd actually want to
Or,
do.
you know, so get a good high authority Web 2.0 and, you know, put up a few articles by Bob the Builder on there and link back to him, his author page. Good to go.
All right. And I think we have one more, which is also going to be a short answer. Oh my God, why can't I highlight this? There we go. From your experience, do you know how many high quality backlinks does one need to have a domain authority of at least 60? I have no idea.
69.
And so,
No,
first of all, we don't do domain authority, but maybe you're talking about Ahrefs, domain rating, DR. DR is what we normally look at. You want to say like DR 60, and I don't know how many quality links it would be, but DR 60, if I then go and look at the number of referring domains, it could be anywhere from like 500 to like 2 or 3K referring domains in there. You know, but you're probably gonna have a pretty decent amount of referring domains, but it depends on quality a lot. So, you know, you can have a much smaller number if you have a higher number of links, but it's hard to really say. I don't think I've probably ever seen like a DR60 with less than like 500 referring domains. Would you say that's about right?
I wouldn't think that.
I would say
Yeah.
probably normally you'd expect them to have over 1,000 referring domains. But then if you go and you check those referring domains and you apply some filters and Ahrefs, you'll see that a lot of those are not quality links. A lot of them are, you know, low quality stuff that the site just kind of accumulates naturally. But yeah, it's hard to tell like exactly how many, you know, quality links you would need for that kind of stuff. But you know, instead of worrying about that, what I would do is just, you know, because you're probably talking about your competitors. Okay, my competitors have an authority of 60, a DR 60 or whatever. Well, instead of looking at that number, go look at their actual backlinks. Go into Ahrefs and look at their go to their backlinks and then apply the filters I told you. Just do a really simple one. Do like anything with authority, a DR. So you filter out the backlinks for DR higher than 10 and domain traffic higher than 250, something like that. It's a very low bar, but what you'll see is that's going to cancel out like a lot of the backlinks. And then you'll start, and you can play with the filters a little bit more to what you would think a quality link would be. And what you'll find is that a domain that had like 1,000 referring domains before, you're going to filter that down and it's going to be something like probably like a less than 100, maybe like 50 like real quality backlinks, and the rest are kind of this lower quality stuff. But yeah, so instead of like focusing on the number, I would just actually go analyze your competitors and go from there. Just again, kind of a gauge maybe how many quality links you need to build. But that's not to say the low quality stuff doesn't help as well. You know, you can't say it doesn't help. It's just that a lot of the stuff kind of just comes naturally, and you don't even have to like worry about trying to get it in a lot of cases. But some of it can incorporate a little bit of spam into your link building if you want to from time to time. To learn more about that, you can go check out Nick's case study that he wrote. If you go to our website and search for the affiliate case study, you can find that there. All right. I think we will go ahead and call it there, guys. Hopefully we've answered your questions. We were trying to go pretty fast there at the end. But yeah, hopefully we've helped you guys out. And what do we got? We've got PBN link sale right now, code PB10. Yeah, completely revamped our PBN service. It's pretty awesome now. Big improvements from what it used to be. Selling by DR now instead of RD. More niched down blogs. Can do like PBN guest posts, PBN niche edits, as well as homepage rentals. We accept more niches. We got hundreds more blogs. Anyway, just a major update to our PBN service.
Major.
So definitely check that out. Get 10% off this month, code PB10. What else we got? Anyway, I won't say much more than that. We got the PBN sale going on, and like always, like, comment, subscribe, helps us out a lot. And what's happening?
Press releases are out now.
Yeah, press releases are out, but we'll be promoting those more. We got some people already ordering them. But yeah, if you need some press releases, that is a type of backlink that we do now. So you can check that out. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Maybe next week, same time, same place. But yeah, if we got to cancel or move the date and time, we'll let you know. Adios.